If I wanted to lose 15 pounds by summer.
Summer bodies aren't born, they're built.
Here are 3 things I would do to tone up for summer.
Get summer body ready.
Lean out for the summer.
Look hot and skinny this summer.
Have abs by this summer.
Get your summer body.
Getting snatched for summer before summer.
Lose 10 pounds before summer.
7 weeks, 60 days to
Get summer body ready.
So I have a crazy novel idea. What if we just said F that? What would happen if we stopped treating our bodies like a temporary project and started taking our actual health seriously? Genuinely, that's something I've been giving a lot of thought to lately. And nah, like I'm genuinely asking y'all, because I think up until this year, not I think I know, the idea of not striving to have a body for a reason has never occurred to me. Y'all know I have been basically endlessly talking to y'all about all of the realizations I've come to since turning 30. And one of them is that I don't think I've ever really understood much about my health as much as I did about aesthetics. I realize that I'm always working towards something, right? Like I'm always working towards a certain weight on the scale. I'm always working towards tweaking this thing or fixing that thing, which is all fine and good because I feel like you should be able to change anything about yourself that you aren't happy with. But what's underneath that? Do I actually know anything about cardiovascular health, blood glucose, how to eat a balanced diet, how to not work towards something and to just have health be the goal? All I know is that if I am exhausted of it and if I'm fatigued of it and I'm a creator on the platforms, I just have to know that y'all are too. I've learned a lot over the past year about my health. It feels overwhelming at times, but I wanted to take this video to basically consolidate everything that I've learned and make it more approachable for the girls, because I want us to stop working towards the thing and to stop treating our bodies like constant projects, including myself, and start focusing on what really matters. And that's like actual health, because what the heck is that? An undeniable fact of getting older is that if you do not find out the answers will make sure to find you out. You know what I'm saying? I am very blessed to have a lot of resources at my disposal because of my job. And if I can get this stuff for free a lot of the time, you better damn well know that I'm going to be sharing it with my girls. Just as a reminder to prioritize what is going on the inside just as much as I care about what I look like on the outside. And speaking of the outside, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm not about to sit up here and lie to y'all as if I just don't care at all about what my outside looks. That would be dishonest. That would be disingenuous. And I will never be that with my girls. I do still have goals for my body that are both about just the way that I look, the way that I want my clothes to fit, but also genuinely about the health of the actual weight on my frame. Debbie is here, as she always is for at least a moment in the video. But the approach that I'm taking this time around is, you have to get down, to let the aesthetics be a byproduct of everything that I'm doing for my health, if that makes sense. Unfortunately, I am losing daylight right now because I did choose to film at the end of the day because I had a pretty busy work day today. So I'm gonna see y'all bright and early in the morning to show y'all an example of what meals, Debbie, I'm literally almost done, to show y'all an example of what eating looks like for me now and how I think about food now versus how I thought about food before. Hello, you guys. Good morning. I know that I said that I was going to show y'all more cooking stuff this morning, but I realized I'm skipping a very vital part of my routine, which is my supplements. Now, I know y'all see me take these all the time, but I never quite explain what each of them do. So I'm gonna run through them pretty quickly so that y'all have a better idea. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Do you need to take this many supplements? No. Disclaimer number 2, all of these supplements were prescribed to me by my doctor. And I've also done a fair bit of research about like how they interact with each other, how to take them, when to take them, all that good stuff. I do have a couple in here that are more like for vanity, I guess you could say, reasons. But besides that, all prescribed, all for a reason. So without further ado, let's get into all of the supplements that I take every single morning. First on the list is inositol. Can't pronounce it, but I know that it goes to help my blood glucose. My doctor felt like it was sitting a little high last time we tested, so she put me on that. I also now wear a blood glucose monitoring system, I guess you could say. We'll talk about that a little bit later. This does not mean I have type 2 diabetes, none of that, but I am inching closer to pre-diabetic than any of us like. So this allows me to monitor that from my phone. But like I said, we will actually talk about this a little bit more later. Next, we have my True Adapt supplement, which helps to support my adrenal system. Your adrenals are what manages the stress hormones in your body. I talked about like a year or so ago how I was like nearing adrenal burnout. So this is something I've been on for on and off for a couple years. Next, we have my plant sterols. I have high cholesterol due to genetics. So this is a supplement that is basically like an intervention before putting me on like for real cholesterol medication. Like I'm a 70-year-old man, which hopefully I never have to do it. But this in combination with lifestyle changes has really helped with all of my cholesterols, because you have multiple, but let's not get into that. Next, we have this DHEA supplement. This one is specifically for my DHEA hormone in my body that has been pretty consistently low. We're gonna see if this helps. If not, we'll regroup. Next is my ferritin C. So we all know iron, right? Ferritin is how your body stores said iron. Because my ferritin is low, my body is producing iron, but the iron is not being stored. This helps with that, and it also has vitamin C in it, which is key to absorption in the body. And then last but not least, we have vitamin D. This is a much higher dose than you'll be able to get over the counter. And literally, like, Black people should always be taking vitamin C because most of us are vitamin D deficient. And a lot of times vitamin D deficiency can look like anxiety, depression, all of those things in the body. So make sure you get your vitamin D levels checked, anybody that is watching this video. And then I have my cortisol manager. This one is one that I take at night, specifically to help me manage stress the next day. That's why I take it at night. And I know y'all are like, girl, there's a lot of stuff for stress. I didn't realize how much stress was weighing on my body, but it was very, very clear once I got my labs done that my body is telling me that it is absolutely keeping score and it is not handling it well internally. So that is why a lot of these things will go to support stress, honestly. Then for my more vanity supplements, I guess you could say, I have my Growplex. This is a new supplement that I'm taking. I actually have a partnership coming up with them, I think at the end of this month. So I will be taking this to see how it works. It's for hair growth. I forgot to mention that. Then of course, y'all have seen me taking my colostrum, my daily colostrum. They sponsored a couple videos thus far, but I really like the product. So I'm gonna keep taking it. It really helps with, for me, the biggest thing is like bloating and gas. So I take this minimum once a day, maximum 3 times a day. And then I'll mention one last thing. Sleep is so important. And as soon as I start to get any little piece of anxiety, that's where my sleep becomes affected. I'm also naturally a night owl, so I don't really like going to sleep on time. So I started taking this super duper low dose melatonin. And what this does is that regular melatonin puts you to sleep, like it commands you to go to sleep. This you take 2 hours before you want to start to get sleepy. So I take this every single day at 8 p.m. because I want to start to get tired by 10 p.m. because I want to be in bed by 11 or 12 p.m. if that makes sense, or 11 p.m., 12 a.m. I also don't get any weird dreams with this, none of that. And this has really helped me improve just my overall sleep hygiene. I know that was a mouthful, but it has taken me probably like a year and a half, 2 years to get to that supplement place. It is what me and my doctor have agreed on. It has changed and looked different at different parts of the past 2 years, just depending on my life circumstances. With me moving to Los Angeles, the stress was up to here. So the supplements got a little larger, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I get my hormones tested 2 times a year and we adjust accordingly. That is everything with supplements. Now let's talk about food. Since it's still the morning time and I'm not generally starving, this is what my quote unquote breakfast will look like. I'm going to take my berries, which are a wonderful source of fiber, Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to use my Mary Ruth Hair Growth Max supplement as kind of like a caramel sauce topping. And then I realized I forgot to take my other Mary Ruths that, as y'all know, I've been taking for years. So I just threw that back real quick. And then for my morning coffee, I no longer have coffee that is, y'all ever hear the phrase like empty calories? I never quite understood that until now. Empty calories meaning that they don't go into any of your macro groups. So when I make my coffee in the morning, I like to do a protein coffee. I decided to add a little, it says Irish cream, girl, that ain't Irish cream. It's like a sugar cookie syrup, if I'm not mistaken. And then I found this plant-based protein that is actually so good off of Amazon. I'm gonna link it down in the description box because I hate the taste of protein in general. Baby, plant-based protein usually tastes disgusting, but this one is delicious. And I just added whatever coffee was in my refrigerator, and that was it. Like I told y'all before, I have access to resources such as nutritionists, health coaches, things like that, who have helped me understand some of the things I just talked to y'all about, like empty calories, the importance of fiber, why you need to be hitting certain protein goals every single day. This is something that can serve as a snack during the day or actually keep me satiated for some hours so that I can just get to work. Feeling satiated, not overly full, not so hungry that I feel like I'm about to pass out, is a feeling that I've had to get used to within my body because I usually lived on those extremes that I just described. I wouldn't do it on purpose, but sometimes I would go so long without eating that I would feel dizzy and lightheaded. And for years, my mom would take me to the doctor trying to figure out if it was something underlying going on. And the doctor just concluded that I can just have sudden drop-offs in blood sugar. And I've just been okay with that. Because of all the ways that I've switched around my eating and my lifestyle, I no longer experience those bouts of lightheadedness. But like I said earlier, my doctor recently recommended that I pay closer attention to my blood glucose levels. So it's finally time to talk about the device I showed y'all earlier. I started using this Stilo Glucose Biosensor, I want to say like 3 months ago, to help me better understand how different foods affect my energy levels and how I feel day to day. And then funny enough, when FSA Store reached out to me to partner on this video, I realized that they actually sell them on their website too. So they sent me new Stilo monitors, which genuinely worked out because I needed replacements anyways. Before this, I had no idea how many health products were actually FSA eligible. The FSA Store is basically a one-stop shop where every product on the site is guaranteed FSA eligible. So there's no guessing to what qualifies and what doesn't. And you can even use your FSA card directly at checkout to make things super easy. They have over 2,500 products on their site too, including recovery tools, pain relief, skincare, and health tech. All kinds of products that support your health and wellness journey. Having tools like this to help me understand my body has been so helpful, and I know that y'all will feel the same. So if you have FSA funds, definitely check out the FSA Store. Go to the FSAstore.com or click the link in my bio so that they know that I sent you, or scan the QR code on screen to shop today. And thanks again to FSA Store for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Y'all, so I promise I just pulled up a Sprouts with every intention of going in and getting the ingredients to make dinner, to show y'all a well-rounded dinner. But the reality is that today has been a long day. I have filmed so much content. I've switched personalities 17 times since y'all have seen me, and Kava was right here. So I'm gonna show y'all how I eat out in the most healthy or nutritious way possible. Okay, y'all, we at Kava with it. Whenever I order, I like to prioritize my protein, limit my carbs, and get some nice healthy fats, some sour ingredients, which we have in some of the pickled veggies on here, the cabbage, things like that. And I'll also limit my sauces, and I get it half rice, half lettuce. That helps me to still have that carb craving that I'm looking for, but then also get my greens in. I know that y'all always hear about protein is protein at Why is protein so important? Protein is the thing that your body takes the longest to break down in your system, and your muscles are built out of protein. That is why people are always telling you to get in so much damn protein, okay? Secondly, why is fiber so important? Fiber does the same thing. Fiber slows down digestion. It helps to carry bad bacteria out of the body. It is in a lot of your fresh fruits and vegetables, but not so much in overly processed carbs. That's why when people are talking about staying away from carbs, not eating carb heavy, it's just because carbs are great for like a quick pump. Like if you need to go to the gym, you want to eat a little rice cake, you know what I'm saying? Like if you just want to like hit that craving, carbs are great, but carbs also spike your sugar, which we'll talk about in a second. I also had to learn portions. Now what these clips are supposed to be was me showing y'all how I weigh out everything that I eat, but your girl has been traveling, busy, all of that. So this is going to be another eating out meal, but I will be able to show y'all regardless. So I got Chipotle, as you see here, and I've started doing two things. One, I've started weighing the things that I eat. Is this annoying at first? Yes. However, I needed to understand how much I was consuming, because in my head, I'm like, girl, I'm getting all this weight. I don't understand why. I'm doing everything like I used to do, da da da. Mama, when I started weighing things out and seeing exactly how many calories everything was, I said, oh, I'm consuming, without realizing it, 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day. How? Because of the pita chips, because of the sauce on the side, because of the coffees, because of the, you know what I'm saying? Like your liquid calories and those sauces add up extremely quickly. And when you have to put every single thing into a tracker app, and them oils, girl, don't even get me started on them oils. It makes you realize how quickly your calories are adding up. So weighing your food out will make you way more conscious. Number one. Number two, I want to emphasize that no foods are bad. There's just some foods that are going to get you closer to your goals than others. For me, that's protein and fiber. So I concentrate a lot on hitting my protein and my fiber goals. Also, I've changed the way that I eat the food on my plate. I'm going to pop up some of the meals that I have been having recently on screen. You are supposed to consume your fibers first, then your protein, and then your carb, because getting your fiber and your protein into your stomach first is going to help to slow digestion. So when you eat the more simple carbohydrates, your body is not going to spike your insulin in response. Speaking of insulin and blood glucose, let's actually look at the app that corresponds with the glucose monitor that I'm wearing on my arm. As you guys can see, when I am more conscious about the food that I eat, my blood sugar is a lot more stabilized. Whereas when I eat something that is a lot more carb heavy, fried, processed, my blood glucose will go through the roof. Sometimes I just want a little sweet treat, so I just know that's gonna happen, but most of the time I avoid it. And having my monitor on is very, very helpful with helping me stay aware. Another thing that I have implemented, if I'm going to have a heavier meal or just a meal at all, I am going to get on my walking pad at the end of it. 10 little minutes on that walking pad is going to do your girl right every single time. This is actually something that is suggested by doctors. Get on your walking pad or just get out in the world and walk for 10 minutes after your meals, and it will help so much with your body metabolizing the meal that you just ate and help a lot with stabilizing your blood sugar. Now, it's one thing to ask the girls to do a little 10-minute walk after you eat. I feel like that's very attainable, but I do fear we must talk about the gym. I know. Stick with me. Hear me. I have such a love-hate is not the word, but let's say rocky relationship with the gym. I go through bouts of feeling very motivated and then feeling nothing at all. There's a principle that I live by in the rest of my life that I have been starting to apply to the gym, and that's that you have to have discipline, because discipline shows up even when motivation isn't there. Because every day I'm not going to be motivated to wake up to go to the gym. Mind you, I'm not going to the gym every day. I'm going to the gym 3 days a week. I've forgotten to say that. Even though it's only 3 days a week, I'm not hop, skipping, and jumping in order to show up there. In fact, probably 1 to 2 times a week, this is what I sound like going into the gym. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Oh, Lord. Okay. These weights heavier than usual? See, I know you. It would be so embarrassing if I threw up. Help. I'm literally swimming in my sweat. My watch just died. Everybody go home. Girl just complaining, huffing, puffing. I chose 3 days a week by the recommendation of my doctor. When I realized that I was flirting with being pre-diabetic, I did a lot of research on how to reverse that. And a lot of doctors talked about the importance of, one, walking for 10 minutes after you eat, like we previously discussed, but also consistently working out, because there's a positive correlation with the amount of muscle on your frame and insulin. Essentially, your body is able to regulate your blood glucose a lot easier, and you are able to have more stable and quicker insulin reactions when you just have more muscle on your body. From a medical standpoint, it is imperative for me to stay in the gym. And that is why I have committed myself to 3 days a week. And oh gosh, another part of being in this freaking gym, girl. I don't know if I've explicitly talked about on the channel that I did pelvic floor therapy because of pelvic floor dysfunction that I felt like I was experiencing. I learned that my pelvic floor dysfunction does not just stay as pelvic floor dysfunction. It was showing up in the fact that I am a flexible person, but I have tight hips. On top of that, I am always, or used to always experience lower back pain. I thought that that was just a byproduct of me having a big old ass. That is in fact not necessarily the case. I realized that I have a bit of hyperlordosis where you kind of stand with your butt poked out and your stomach kind of out and forward, and that's a posture that I just got used to, which inadvertently weakened the connection between my hips, my glutes, like my pelvic floor, like all of these things. Now, why this is imperative for me in the gym, this is gonna sound crazy out loud, I get it, but I want my booty to sit up on my back. I think I have hips, I think that I have butt there, but right in the middle of my butt, it feels flat to me, and it's because I have really weak glutes. I also have really weak quads. Before, when I was in the gym, I would just push through the obvious pain that I would be in because my back would take over when I'm lifting. Another system that I skipped over is that my core was also weak, and I could have like a slim, trim little body and the little start of a six-pack with a weak core. I could be doing something with my quads, literally sitting down, and my back would hurt. RDLs, my back hurts. Squats, my back hurts. Lunges, my back hurts. And it's because I was trying to push these heavy weights but didn't have the core stability to support it. So when I went back to the gym, I had to basically start from the beginning because I am trying to re-engage my core. I also did dry needling, which was so helpful in loosening up the tightness in my glutes. And I would highly recommend if you do have access to that. Between that, doing my pelvic floor therapy exercises, going back to the basics with lifting with almost no weight or very little weight, and working on my deep core, I am proud to say that I am almost never in pain at the gym. And whenever I am lifting anything, my core is constantly engaged. And I'm really, really, really proud of the work that I have done thus far. What I would say to you gals is that if you resonated with anything that I just said, definitely look into it. Do your research, because lifting shouldn't be painful. Like painful in the sense of like muscle fatigue, sure, but you shouldn't be lifting and like be in pain. Like that's not okay. And it's taking away from the potential joy that you could ever feel with going to the gym, because why would you go back to a place that's literally causing you pain, right? When you look into the research of it all and you figure out the things that are good for your body, it becomes almost like the decision is made for you. It's like be pre-diabetic or get up and take my ass to the gym. You know, and if all else fails, give yourself an accountability partner, which is what I have done. Me and my niece are actually accountability partners, to where if we do not do our 3 workouts a week, we owe each other $10. And I always tell my niece, and I want interest on that. So it just motivates both of us to get into the gym. We don't live in the same city. We live across the country from each other, and we're still doing this together. So if you can find somebody like that in your life, I would highly recommend to do so, because this journey is so much easier when you have somebody else holding you accountable. Overall, like I said, like, will the gains come? Prayerfully, but it's not about that anymore. This is really deeply tied to my health, and I believe that that's why I've been able to sustain this in the way that I have been able to, because it's been about 2 months where I've been on this kind of journey. And I know that sounds like a short amount of time to y'all, but it's a very long amount of time to me. Speaking of consistency, me and my accountability partner did hit a workout when I was back in Cleveland for Mother's Day. So let's roll to that. Okay, guys, we're here in Cleveland. Door's with me. She's on the other side of the camera. This is our final workout of the week. Neither one of us want to be here. We're all like that. But we're going to do it. We're going to get it done. Right, Door?
Absolutely.
What are you trying to load on here, Missy? Jesus, Lord, Jesus in heaven. A 20!
What up? Ooh. That's good.
Oh, God.
That's good stuff.
One more.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah. I'm going to try to push to 100 and see what happens. I feel like I could throw up. Help me, Lord.
1, 2, 3.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. I got it.
It's done? Oh. We're done with these bull crap. Release me.
I know that we went over so much in today's video, but I'm really hoping that I broke things down in a way for y'all to understand and to approach health and wellness from a place of love, from growth, from self-respect, and fun, if you can manage to have it. Because even looking at these videos and seeing how much weight I'm able to push now that I have prioritized understanding my body, understanding fitness, knowing what I need, all the things, and then being able to share health and wellness with the people that I love. Like, I just want to be here for a long time and a good time. And if I can help any of y'all do the same, that would just, make my whole life. I am really happy with the progress that I have made, and I hope that the tips and advice that I've been able to share today helps someone out there watching this video. Now, I know I said this before, but I'm gonna say it one more time. Fuck a summer body. Okay, this is about changing our lifestyle. This is about building life habits. This is about taking care of yourself for the sake of it. And if that body comes, which I'm prayerfully will, then that's a positive byproduct of you taking care of yourself because you love, respect yourself, and you want to be here for a good long time with the people that you love. I love you guys so much. You can do this. I am proud of you already, and I will see you guys super duper soon in the next one. Bye.
Girl, I get the money with me, make you mine, oh. If you loving every night, make you mad, oh.